On 4 now, it's the parody news show where the couch is the real talent. Focus North.
Right now on Pennine, our regional magazine full of features and guests. It's Focus North.
I'm Shona Lincoln.
And I'm Tom Whitlam. Welcome to Focus North.
For joining us for our weekly look at the regional stories that surround you.
Later in the programme, we'll be working out with a local lady who's made her own fitness video as a way of getting her lazy husband out of his armchair.
I tell you what I've done with you, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you.
Now, Tom, you've heard of the homing pigeon. They're only too familiar in this region. But have you heard of the homing rabbit?
A homing rabbit? No, that sounds a little rarer.
That's right. Our next story is about a lovely rabbit. A rabbit called Katie, who made a magnificent journey.
Toby Bedford, the animal's owner, relocated to Eudenroyd, accidentally leaving the little bunny behind.
Toby thought that he'd never lay eyes again on his beloved rabbit.
But eventually, after lots of adventures, the little bunny came hopping back to him 6 days later. Emma Gelding has the story.
This is Katie the rabbit and she's beautiful. Aren't you? Aren't you? Luckily, this little cutie's back in her rightful place here in the Institute. And here's your own little Toby. And he's going to tell you a remarkable story, isn't he? Shall we tell you a story, Katie? Shall we? What? Oh, God. Katie said yes. So, Toby, tell us how much you love this lovely little fluff ball.
Oh, Katie's very important to us here at Essence. She's well loved. I mean, after all, she was born here and we've looked after her ever since, observing her daily.
So, tell me how you managed to leave her behind when you moved premises then.
Oh, well, in the rush to move to a more secure premises, the cage must have got left under some books or papers or something. I was very distraught. I thought I might get the sack.
Focus North have set up a recreation of the journey that Katie made. Let's see it.
My name's Katie the Rabbit, and I'm going to rabbit on for just a few minutes because there's a fluffy tale to be told, so you better be all ears. I broke free from my restraining straps in my cage here at Essence Research Laboratories, the top company in animal-related testing and cosmetic analysis. My escape was even more remarkable, considering that I'm almost totally blind and I have a huge tumour hemorrhaging in my brain. I travelled over 15 miles trying to get back home. Finally, Toby found me again and took me back to the new high security lab. At last, I was safe again.
Oh, you must care about her a great deal. When you finally found her, Katie recognised you, didn't she?
Well, most of her old struggle had gone. I mean, when she saw me, all she could do was shiver and whimper.
Oh, overcome with joy, weren't you?
Oh, what we did was pop her on the operating table and warm her by Bunsen burner, pop her in a nice new cage.
It is not unusual for animals to find their way back to their owners, but this is hardly a happy story, as I am only too aware of the horrible experiments that Essen Laboratories conduct on their animals.
So what sort of work is it that Katie's helping you with here at Essence?
Well, Essence is a company who are dedicated to eradicating Shaman saw her across the globe. Our promotional video will show more.
Oh, let's see it.
Essence Makeup for Men. Essence proudly present the Sport Makeup range. Your client is physical. His body's ready for action. But what about his face? For the rugby league player, try some Try. Rugby league makeup for men, what a conversion. Sweat Look Gel gives a greasy lankness to any perm. To stop bleeding, facial glitter jelly with a styptic factor of 9. Lipstick, nail varnish and gum shield available in most squad colours. Even the toughest stiff-arm tackle can't shake this lick powder. Try our position-specific fragrances. Choose from Scrum Aroma, Tackle Scent or Pungent Fullback. Conceived and delivered by the Essence Institute.
Go on, force yourself.
Also from Essence Makeup for Men, fishing is a philosophy and a gentleman's sport demands a gentleman's makeup. Real Man. Yes, that toe varnish not only looks great, but with its unique B2 maggot-derived pheromones, it entices those pike that play hard to get. Flutter those fly leg eyelashes at the water's edge, and the keep net will swell to bursting. Real men use real.
Go on, force yourself.
For a lot of clients, working out just doesn't work out. Nobody loves the freak, deal with it. The body is a canvas. Let's paint. Essence Makeup for Men, King Contour Body Sculpture. Totally safe, totally desirable, total man. You can even draw a big cock down the side of your leg. King Contour Essence.
Go on, force yourself.
Thousands know the problem. Hot date, important interview. They wake up with an old man's head. Triathlon no medal winner Martin Allen knows the headache of Clegghead syndrome, but now he can even the score. Rejuvenile from Essence.
Yeah!
This miracle regeneration cover system leaves premature aging in the starting blocks. Bust a wrinkle. Rejuvenile from Essence.
Essence, makeup for men. Go on, force yourself.
Essence Makeup for Men is endorsed by the stars. Sammy Mammy Cagney, the world's greatest minstrel, has used our products for years.
Who do you know who can sing 50 songs a night and never need a touch-up? Go on, force yourself.
If you want to stock Essence Institute Makeup for Men, then write for a free sample pack. Essence are in no way liable for any allergic reactions your clients may have to our products.
Wow, what a marvellous new range. And it's great that Katie the Rabbit is helping out with such a worthy cause. Now this adorable little cottontail's cuddling down into her brand new hutch. She's being cared for properly by Toby and his colleagues. So now she's a happy bunny, aren't you? Aren't you, Katie? Oh my God, it's dead.
Nothing of interest will happen in Yorkshire over the weekend. Yorkshiremen will spend the time ignoring what's happening in the rest of the world and blindly praising God's country. The Crackley Amateur Video Club will not be showing their award-winning nature film of 2 penis flytrap plants spit roasting a bee. The print has been seized by the BBFC film censors and all the club members arrested. The Fat Dyke Male Voice Choir are now not performing a collection of songs by revolting cocks at the massive Enormomong Amphitheatre Morecambe. Italian-American blockbuster movie Man Kill Sport will now not be released at the cinema. Instead, keen fans of the film are already camping outside Scooby's video store to get a premiere when it's released straight to video next month. Jeff Boycott's Bar Mitzvah has been postponed until further notice.
We're going to take a break now, but join us again as Pete Wardy will be looking at a village that's preserving a traditional Yorkshire dialect.
And coming next, the best of my coming nexts. Coming next, the best of my coming next.
This is an everyday object. Can you tell what it is? We'll tell you after the break.
When you're tall and overweight like me, you've got real problems finding clothes. That's why Mighty Large, the clothing store for big and massive men, is like a gift from the gods. The shirts here feel great, just like real fitted ones. I feel really confident. I usually have shoes handmade to fit me. At Mighty Large, they have racks of shoes that fit perfectly. You can walk out of the shop in them and stride like a king. Thanks, Mighty Large. No longer do I have to squeeze into tiny, ill-fitting garments. That's because Mighty Large make clothes for the gods.
We asked you which everyday object this was. It's an old wooden table.
It's great to have you back.
Later, we've got Pete Wardy's report on some of the dialects of Yorkshire that, if we're not careful, could become extinct.
That's it. That's it. That's no idea what that's talking about.
And a local woman shows us how to keep fit the odd modern way.
Look at you pile of vomit.
But first, we get plenty of letters from you viewers every week. Thanks.
And a lot of those letters ask us how we keep the programme looking so slick and so professional. Well, it may look easy, but it means a lot of hard work from a dedicated and well-trained crew every single week. And, believe it or not, Shona and I don't always get our presenting right first time.
So we here at the Focus North team thought you might find it educational as well as amusing to see some of our silly mistakes and embarrassing bloomers, as well as some of the best links that me and Shona have done.
Oh no, I know I'm going to regret this, but run VT. A remarkable man from Wakefield. Oh my God, I said Wakefield and I meant Wackfield. Focus North. And do you remember this classic? But first, we associate fireworks with loud bangs and smiling faces. But sometimes the bangs get too close to the faces. Then the smiles are gone. Sometimes forever.
Well, we apologise for the break in our programming. We seem to be experiencing some technical difficulties. Shit. But we can now return you to
And do you remember this classic from this program?
Some of our silly mistakes and embarrassing bloomers, as well as some of the best links that me and Shona have done.
And these are the experiments in different ways of presenting that you never got to see.
The most obvious being to give the afflicted an old man's head on a young man's body.
Thanks for joining us for the weekly stories that surround you. Focus North! And have you seen this? And remember this, do you? Great, great fun. Great. Well, that looked like great fun. Great. Now then, Shona, I've never known thee to know whether thou was going till thou was coming back.
Tom?
Now that phrase is just one example of one of the oldest Yorkshire dialects. Now some call it gibberish, but up in the high country it's still spoken, and they call it grunt.
Fascinating. And in this week's Call of Nature, Pete Wardy travels across Dale and Dell to the village of Thundercliff, where the locals still preserve this ancient language of the hills.
Let's hear some, Pete.
I've lived here all my life, and it's a language that I love, here in the Dales. Today, I'll be taking the old drover's route that's been in existence since before the written word. I'm making this expedition to the remote village of Thundercliff. Well, we'll be getting a history lesson from some remarkable residents. And if Teddy can get his foot down, I can be there in under 60 seconds. This is Yorkshire, God's own country. Come on, Teddy, The ancient language of grunt was based upon the premise of reducing language to its most basic form, copying the sounds of eating and flatulence, bowel movement, the sex act, and so on. For example, all right,
That's neat, that's cheap, that's no idea what that's talking about.
Isn't it wonderfully honest? In the south of Warpdale, it is hot-blooded and expressionist. A greeting in the southern grunt may be more continental, like so. All right.
All right. Oh, you poof!
Poof! The only people speaking this language today are auctioneers. Let's listen to an example of southern grunt in its purest form, as recorded by film anthropologist Gregson Teat. Listen to this greeting. The only people now speaking this form of grunt are street newspaper vendors. Historian Samuel Spitzwhite tries to explain.
The original form came from Celtic tribesmen that came from Australia and settled here. The language comes from the sound of birth, of the death of the oceans, the cowpat, and the sound of squats.
Let's see footage of the last recorded performance of Grunt Betty Folk, as filmed once again in 1908 by Gregson Teat. And notice the accompaniment, the unique and sometimes fatal instrument, the bag of wind. The most ancient form of the Grunt dialect is an exceptional language which distills communication to its purest level. The only name we have for it is Nutton, but those that speak its many textured layers know it simply as Let's see a speaker of Nutton as caught once again by Teat. This dialect of Nutton is nearly defunct. But in the small village of Thundercliff, this beautiful language is kept alive. Every villager is active in promoting this dialect. We're off to the Thalidomide Arms to meet two speakers of this dialect, Thill and June Bolt. Ahoy there! I do apologise. how long have you been speaking Nutton, the unspoken word of Thundercliff? Are your children taught Nutton? Amazing. The language is so subtle as not to be understood by outsiders. They've spoken Nutton here in Thundercliff for so long that all vocal language stopped centuries ago. Their tongues have disappeared and their ears have sealed up. What would Darwin have said if he'd lived here? I'm really enjoying my conversation here, and I'm learning a lot. I'm having a right good chinwag. Go on. Say something rude in Nutton. I've had a smashing day out here in Thundercliff, and I hope you've learnt a little about the fascinating dialects around the region. So, I'll bid you a fond farewell, or as I say in Nutton, come on Teddy, let's bugger off. This is Yorkshire, God's own country. Come on, let's get to the flesh pots of Bradford. Hey! Come on, get on the bloody road, for God's sake!
That was Pete Wardy. Great.
Now, we've just got time for one last item. You may think that me and Tom never seem to leave these sofas. Well, you'd be wrong. When not working, I enjoy swimming, going to the gym, and horse jumping.
And I enjoy fencing, archery, and a spot of jousting.
When it comes to leaving his armchair, one man is unbeatable. That's Leonard Dent of Odmorden.
Yes, Leonard has sat in front of his television for all of his miserable existence. But now his wife Karen has had enough, and she thought she'd make Leonard his own Keep Fit video, starring herself to get him off his posterior.
Well, we've got a copy of that video, and here it is.
So get out of your chair at home and try to keep up as we watch Karen Dent's exercise video in its full glory.
Motherfucker, get out of that chair. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at you. You wanker,
No.
you pile
Shut
of
it.
vomit. Jesus. My God.
What?
For fuck's sake, will you just get a bloody
Stay.
fucking
Hey,
move on?
hey.
1, 2, 3, up,
Hey,
2,
you're
3,
gonna-
up, 2, 4. When I'm done with
Hey.
you, I'm going to beat the fucking shit out of you.
No.
I look forward to seeing more of those.
Well, that's all from us tonight. Join us next week when we'll be celebrating Christmas with the remarkable story of the pop record that freed an innocent man.
So raise your hands and sing to the God who set Austin free.
And resident chef Ashley Broadbent goes for a marathon 72 hours of non-stop cooking.
Which will become a delicious Christmas Yorkshire black pudding. Just like a Christmas pudding, only it's a black pudding, really.
Same time, same place. See you then. And remember, for the stories that surround you,
Focus North.
from us, good night.
Good night.
Coming next, the evening's big film, Cars and Spies, only on Pennine.
Go on, force yourself.